They say life is like a roasted corn. Sometimes it's hard to chew. Okay, forget the motivational talk. Here's how to make this time freeze effect or bullet time effect I saw in Fola's music video with Kizz Daniel, Lost. Let's cook. You've probably seen this effect in many music videos and even movies where people do some things and things starts flying around or is suspended in midair. Yes, that's the kind of effect we are making today, and it's called time freeze effect or bullet time effect. This is my first time trying this effect, so in this video I will not only be showing you how to make this effect, but also we will be seeing the mistakes I'm making so that you can avoid those kind of errors while you are making your video, and so that you can save time, and most importantly so that you will end up crying at the end of the day.
Oh my god! Even does it from, oh my god!
To make this effect, the first thing we need to do is to set our camera on a tripod. Yes, you need a stable shot. You can also do this effect if you don't have a stable shot. If you have movement in your shot, you can also do it, just that you will need to do tracking in After Effects and all, but it's not necessary. Just save time in edit, put your camera on a tripod and let's shoot. Also, you might want to shoot a slow-mo while recording your effect. This depends on if you want slow-mo in your shots, depends on what you are shooting. If you want it to be super slow, then you need to shoot a slow-mo. Now it is important that you lock your tripod. Make sure the camera is not moving throughout the shoot, not even an inch. Make sure it is locked. Now have your actor do whatever you want them to do, either raising their hands, slamming the table. In the case of this video we are recreating, the actor is slamming the table, so that is what we'll be doing, and I have the best actor in the world to do this for me. I mean, just look at the guy. After doing that, let the actor carefully leave the set without tampering with any object on the set. What we are going to do next is to lift the objects. To do that, we need a tiny rope, either a thread or a fishing line. So let's go get a fishing line. So when I got to where I went to get this fishing line, I was like, I need a fishing line, and the seller asked, what type? Wait, you mean there are types? I didn't know. Apparently there are types of fishing line, the elastic one and the non-elastic. So out of curiosity, I asked for the elastic one. I hope curiosity will not kill the cat at the end of this video.
Bagel, no! Bagel!
Now check the set on your camera, but make sure you are not moving the camera while you are checking the shot. So you need to check the object that is in front of the other. For example, this sound card is in front of the camera, so you will need to move the sound card first before the camera. I'm going to start with this mic here. I'm going to carefully put the fishing line around it so that I can lift it. You should also make sure your body or shadow is not covering the object you are lifting. Okay, curiosity has finally killed the cat though. I should have bought the non-elastic type of fishing line. Instead of lifting the objects immediately, this type of fishing line stretches first before it lifts the object, and instead of just staying up there when it is lifted, it's still moving around, and that is not what we want. So you should get the non-elastic type of fishing line. Anyway, we already have this, so we work with it, but make sure you are avoiding this mistake while making your effects. I'm going to do the same for the rest of the objects. Again, remember to leave the objects in front first. It's very important that you tie the fishing line around the object very well so that it won't fall when you lift it. So take your time to plan this very well so that it won't end in tears. When you are done lifting the objects, move everything away and shoot an empty plate. Now this effect can be done in both After Effects and Premiere Pro, but because this video is going to get too lengthy if I edit it in both After Effects and Premiere Pro in one video, so I'm going to split it into two. This will be the first part, so make sure you wait for the second part. Watch the second part when it's out and you will learn how to edit it in Premiere Pro. So having said that, let's go to After Effects. So now we are in After Effects, and the first thing I will need to do is to drag the clips to the project. So I'm going to select everything and drag it to the project. So if you shoot slow-mo, this is the point where you will slow down your clip. Right click your footage, go to interpret footage, then conform the shot to normal frame rate like 24 frame rate, then you will have your slow-mo. But for me, I don't need the slow-mo. I didn't shoot everything in slow-mo, so I will just go with normal frame. After that is done, I will need to make a composition. I want to use the settings of this main shot. So I'm going to scroll over here and say main shot. I'm going to drag the main shot clip to this icon here, make a new composition. So it's going to maintain that setting. So I'm going to click enter and then rename this main comp. Okay, so I'm going to go to the timeline. What I'm going to do now is to trim. Okay, let me turn off the caps lock. So what I'm going to do now is to trim this clip to where I want it to start from, where I want the effect to start from. So I'm going to start from where my hand hits the table. So I'm going to click on Command Shift D to cut that part, then move some frames forward, some seconds forward, and then do the same thing, Command Shift D to cut the remaining part. So I'm going to right click and then say pre-compose. So I'm going to move all attributes to the new composition. So then I'm going to rename this effects comp, then okay. So this is where we are, this is what we are working with. Now I'm going to duplicate this clip. What I want to do now is to rotoscope this clip. So I'm going to rename this roto. Now I'm going to double click the roto clip, then select roto brush tool at the toolbar, then paint around the subject just like this. So I'm going to paint like this, then once you are satisfied with what you have, move the timeline indicator to the last frame so that After Effects can analyze the rotoscope properly. When that is done, I'm going to freeze this rotoscope to prevent further changes to the rotoscope. Once that is done, let's go back to project. So what we are going to do now is to start working on each object on this set. So I'm going to work with the one that is in front first. Like I said earlier, I'm going to drag this mic clip here and then trim it to the area that I want. I mean where the effect is starting from. Okay, I think I'm okay with around here. So what I'm going to do now is to press Ctrl Shift D to cut this part. So I'm going to rotoscope this mic clip. So I'm going to double click this layer, then select roto brush. So let me zoom in around there to see what I'm doing properly. Okay, so I'm going to paint around this mic stand and this mic just like this, carefully around it. Again, I'm going to move the cursor to the last frame and let After Effects analyze the rotoscope again. Once that is done, I'm going to freeze this rotoscope so that there won't be further changes to it. After we've rotoscoped the mic, let's go back to project again and work on the next object, and that is the lens. So I'm going to drag the lens clip to the timeline again and trim it to the area that I want. So after trimming it, I'm going to double click this layer and select roto brush and then start rotoscoping. So paint around this again. I think by now you get the gist. So we are doing the same thing for every object that is on that set. So I'm going to speed up this process.
2,000 years later.
So after rotoscoping all the objects, the next thing I'm going to do now is to start rearranging everything. So if you see, the mirror here is above the subject, so I'm going to start rearranging the clips properly. After rearranging the clips, the next thing we need to do is to bring the plane shot that we shot earlier to the timeline. Unfortunately, even though I asked you to shoot the plane shot, I forgot to shoot the plane shot. So I don't know how. I totally forgot. Maybe I didn't press record or something, but I found a way around it. I exported a frame from this project and took it to Photoshop, then do some cleanups to it, then I have my plane shot. So just bring the plane shot to the timeline. I noticed that when I play the video, the effect is too slow. At the start of the effect is too slow, it's not lifting properly. So I'm going to move some seconds forward and then cut when the object is already lifted, when it is up. Then right click, go to time, then time stretch. I'm going to set this to around 40 to speed up the start of the effect. I'm going to do the same for this also. Move some seconds forward, go to where the effect is already in the air, where the object is already in the air, then cut there, and then right click, time stretch, and then set it to a faster number. just make it fast. So now when I preview this is what we have. Okay, so we are getting there. So the next thing you might want to do now is to animate the objects. This is optional. If you want it to just stay there, to just freeze like that, it's fine. But if you still want it to move a bit, so it looks like there is kind of slow movement, so I'm going to animate this second clip. So I'm going to click on P to open position, then go to the last frame. I'm going to go to the last frame and then let it move up a bit. So I'm going to do the same for the rest of the objects. So if I preview it now, this is what we have. So if you look closely, you see that some of these objects are still moving while they are up, and this is time freeze effect. They are supposed to stay up. This is because of the elastic fishing line that I got instead of the non-elastic, so make sure you avoid this mistake. Alternatively, you can freeze frame the objects. Just right click, go to time, then freeze frame. So that's where you won't have all this jiggle. But I'm not going to do that anyway, so let's just continue with this tutorial. So to add more drama to this, let's create an impact. So when the hand touches the table, there's supposed to be an impact, just like in that Fola's music video. So to do that, let's go back to the main composition. Now select the ellipse tool and then zoom. I'm going to zoom in a bit here, then create a mask around this, draw a small mask around there. So I'm going to press on M to create mask option, open this mask option, then create this keyframe here. I'm going to move it to the start here, then move some frames forward and then open up this mask. I'm going to move it out of the frame. After this, I'm going to click on S and then scale up this a bit around there. Here I'm going to scale this up a bit. So I'm going to move this keyframe back a bit here to make it faster. Now let's duplicate the clip, then move the keyframes of this second clip back a bit. But make sure you set the scale of this second clip to normal scale, that is 100. So if you play it now, you see that you now have an impact, something like a wave. So to add more drama to it, let's go to effects and presets and search for turbulent displays. Let's add turbulent displays to the first one. Then the second one, I'm going to add radial blur. I'm going to reduce this radial blur to around 2, just to add a little bit distortion to it. So you can also add other objects to this effect. So I have a zoom recorder here that I later shot, so I'm going to add the zoom recorder. Like we did earlier, you are going to rotoscope the zoom recorder and then freeze it. So you can also animate that. And when you are done, you should have this. They say life is like a roasted corn. Sometimes it's hard to chew. And that's how to make this time freeze effect or bullet time effect, like it was done in Fola's music video with Kizz Daniel Lost. I hope you were able to enjoy this video as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. I hope you were able to enjoy it. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. Like this video, share with your friends, subscribe to this channel. Let's grow this channel together, and I will always do my part by bringing you educating contents like this. And till then, remember, it's always okay. See you in the next one.